Welcome to part 2 on universal tools that can be used to support students with complex communication and physical access needs. Talking buttons are single message buttons. It means you can record something on it, and every time the student hits the switch, it says the same line. These are great for things like, I have a question, or I want to turn. You can even record, that's the one, so that when you give your student a choice, how should we start this word? Does it start with a B, or a C, or a D? Hit the that's the one switch when you hear the letter you want, or hit the switch when I'm pointing to the letter you want.
After each tool is introduced, there'll be an application idea. Feel free to pause the video and read through the application idea.
A low-tech eye gaze board is a way for a student to indicate a selection from a field of choices just by holding their gaze on one of the words, letters, or pictures. These can be made from a foam board from Michaels, and you can cut the center out of it so you can see through it, or you can buy them pre-made. I like the black background to provide a higher contrast. You don't have to have thought through all the choices ahead of time and printed and laminated them. You can draw or write it on a Post-it on the fly. Just tell them what each word or picture is before you have them make a selection. Tell them what you're observing. I like that I saw you look at all of them. Now look at the one you want. Or, it looks like you're looking at this one. If you need to, confirm it with a yes or a no. If it's obvious, don't have them confirm, because that just means they have to tell you twice.
Here's an application idea using an eye gaze board and don't let the pigeons drive the bus. Feel free to pause the video so that you can read about this application idea.
A step-by-step allows you to record a sequence of phrases that will play in the order in which you record. A step-by-step with levels will allow you to record 3 different sequences. Here are a few ways to use the step-by-step with Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus book. See the video for further assistance on how to do these recordings.
In this application idea, try using the step-by-step to build same and different language concepts for homeschool connection and for shared reading activities.
Easy holds or industrial twist ties can be used to help students who cannot grasp a writing utensil or a stick for tapping out syllables. See the video to see this in action.
Here's an idea. Use the easy holds and the drumsticks to have the students tap out the syllables of the words in the story.
A switch-adapted spinner is just a spinner attached to a switch. When they hit the switch, it will spin, and then you can explore what happens when it lands on a particular letter, word ending, or vowel sequence.
In this idea, the students are using a switch-adapted spinner to create new words. You'll write target letters on the switch-adapted spinner. When the kids hit the switch, it'll choose a letter, they'll create new words.
A flip chart or a pocket chart will allow you to display words and sort them while keeping your hands free.
Here are some ideas for using the pocket chart while reading a book. For example, you could read the story and have the student choose letters and words to be displayed on the chart to help with letter-word recognition.
An alternative pencil is simply another way of accessing letters. In this picture, you see that a student can choose from a field of letters or choose to move to another set of letters. There will be more about this on writing modules. Check out the recorded webinar on this idea to learn more.
Pause the video to check out this idea on using an alternative pencil with a book to help a student write.
A phonetic keyboard is a keyboard with voice output that says the sound rather than the letter when it's selected. This is available on many AAC or augmentative and alternative communication systems.
Your students could use a phonetic keyboard to select letters, create words, and answer questions, or even write down their ideas to create their own story.
Switch access to the iPad requires a Bluetooth device that connects to the iPad that has switches connected to it. See the video on how to set up your student for switch access to the iPad.
In this application idea, you put the applicator interface and a switch to use, with your students being able to turn pages of a book in iBooks or to pause and play a video of someone reading a story. It's a great way to engage kids in reading and allow them some independence in that reading.
Switch access to the computer is great when you or your computer lab has educational programs that need to be accessed through a switch. See additional resources on this slide for instructions on how to use this tool.
If you haven't heard of Tar Heel Reader or checked it out, now's a good time. You can put the Hitch 2 switch interface to great use by allowing students to read stories in Tar Heel Reader by touching the switch and turning the page.
Something as simple as a dry erase board can be used as a teaching tool to provide visual feedback and display their ideas in print. Magnetic letters provide a tactile way for students to arrange letters, and if used on a magnetic surface, even like a baking sheet, students with limited motor skills may be able to manipulate these letters a little easier. Core words are more generic vocabulary that can be used across a wide range of environments with a variety of communication partners. Fringe words refer to vocabulary that is more specific to a topic, environment, or individual. Core words can be printed and used with students all day long. Some fringe pages are often printed to meet a specific communication need for a particular activity. Pictures or symbols can be printed in a low-tech board or book to allow a student to point to more words in a consistent location. Ideally, they would have a high-tech or a voice output AAC system with their low-tech board or book that would match their systems. You can find printable versions of most popular AAC device applications in the document attached to this slide. There are a variety of AAC apps on the iPad. Some apps can be accessed by pointing at a picture, and other apps have switch access options. Still others have a face-pointing feature. Consult with your speech-language pathologist as to what is the best AAC app for your student. A dedicated AAC system is a language system that has a voice output, but the device is closed to other operations on the device. Check out the video on this slide to see how the student can use their AAC device to write their own version of Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. Key guards are used to improve access accuracy for those able to use their hands to access language but don't have a consistent pointer finger. Check out the video to see how you can custom order a key guard for any device. You've just seen a lot of tools in Part 2 of Module 1. If you're like most of us, you're working on a small budget. The tool on this slide provides priorities around 8 tools that we think will help you get started.
Did you know that the Special Education Technology Center has a lending library? And in this lending library are many of the universal tools you've learned about. Take a moment to check out the Switch Kit or the Low-Tech Literacy Kit. You can borrow them and use them with your students and try out some of the universal tools you've learned about. Here are 2 other Washington State resources we want you to know about. Washington Assistive Technology Act program at the University of Washington. They have a lending library that also has many of the universal tools you've learned about. Another great resource is Northwest Augmentative Communication Society. This is a nonprofit organization, and they focus on educating and raising awareness about augmentative and alternative communication. Check out these great resources.